It's no secret that people buy emotionally. And it shouldn't be a secret that their emotions are never higher than after that first really engaging sales call. But we all know that it's kind of downhill from there. And the longer you wait to reach out to follow up with that prospect, the more likely it is that there's going to be some kind of distraction that takes their emotions somewhere else. That's why follow-up is so important. And that's why I love this book by Jeff Shore, Follow Up and Close the Sale. This is the most profound examination of follow-up I've ever seen. And look, I'm sure there are others out there, but this one, I was drawn to this one because I like Jeff's work and I'm such an admirer of his. And I read this book very quickly and took a ton of notes. Now, a couple of the things that really stood out for me was this idea that you have a responsibility to follow up. That follow-up is the selling part of the sales process because you need to keep your buyer's emotional level high. And you know that selling is a transfer of enthusiasm, right? And so if your customer or your prospect's emotions start to decline, then yours start to decline along the way. Where's that enthusiasm to be transferred? Right? Look, this is a book that goes into all the ways that you need to get your mind around follow-up. You need to have a strategy for follow-up. There's the meat of the book is in section 3 where he talks about execution with the phone, with email, with text, with video, with getting creative. Listen, there's a singing telegram mention. I'm not going to give that one away. But the most profound impact, and I think the most profound couple of chapters in the book deal with how you actually set aside the time to follow up. And here's a really good strategy for re-engaging old leads. Look, you need to set aside that hour a day. There's 60 minutes a day where you don't just follow up with prospects, but you convert leads. And I love the paradigm shift there with the new language, which should lead to a new mindset. And as far as engaging the old leads, look, if you've got the time set aside to contact people who are already familiar with you, which is way better than cold calling, which you're already trying to avoid, right? If you've got time to set aside, or if you know you need to set that time aside, give yourself that hour early in the day while you're fresh. And you know you've got time. You have a responsibility to have that time, to make that time, so that you can engage with the people you need to in order to make the sales you need to make. But I think all the money is made in this book with the 5+5+5 strategy that Jeff lays out here for re-engaging old leads. We've all had sales processes that have just gone somewhere and died. But you know that you have a solution to a problem that someone has. So get back in front of them. Find a way to re-engage with them. And this 5+5+5 strategy is brilliant. 5 handwritten notes. Let's say it's on a Monday. You should do this every business day. But let's say on a Monday, you write 5 handwritten notes and you say, I saw something that made me think of you. I know we can help you. I'm going to call to talk about this. Okay, so you state your intentions. 5 days pass because mail takes time. 5 days later, you stated your intention earlier that you were going to call them. Then you do what you said you would do and you call them. This lays the groundwork for that phone call. And so every day of your business week, you are writing 5 handwritten notes and making 5 telephone calls. This doesn't have to take long. But if you think about the math there, and Jeff does the math for you in the book, if you did that for 1 quarter, only 1 quarter, you would reestablish contact with up to 325 past prospects. And if you only closed 5%, so I guess it's 5+5+5+5, if you only closed 5%, that would be 16 new sales a quarter. Think about that. How many of you watching this right now would love to make 16 additional sales per quarter? So when you think about that, when you think about the power of this, and section 4 in the book after strategy is, the difference between the 1% and the other 99% of sales professionals. The 1% do this. The 1% do those little things day by day that make them successful. There's no overnight success. Right? There are no overnight successes. Most overnight successes, at least the ones I know, took 10, 15, 20 years to become overnight successes. And that's pretty much the rule of thumb as far as success goes. The things that you do on a day-to-day basis, the way that you execute routinely and with precision and with consistency, those are the things that make champions. So, and I love the way Jeff wraps up this book. He toasts the champions. And there's a little challenge in there too that I think you'll appreciate. Are you one of those people that's willing to do the little things necessary to make their careers outstanding? Follow up and close the sale. This is a really good book. This is a transformative book. 10-page chapters. You know I like short chapters. When you, even if you took 20 weeks, took 1 week to read a chapter at a time. If you did if you listened to the questions, if you answered the questions at the end of every chapter and then actually responded to the call to action, even in a few minutes a week that it would take to do that, this book would transform your career. That's not an understatement. The way Jeff gets you to provocatively think about your own situation and then the way he encourages you to act on that situation, that's a big deal. You should check out this book. I think it'll make a difference. I think you're really going to enjoy it. You can thank me later.